ATM में से पागल हो गए, ATM में वीडियो चलाता है। Not your president. It's old. This is about 9, 10 years, 12 years ago, in fact. He said, video पे कौन सा ATM पे कौन वीडियो चलाता है यार? I said, train your customer to use the ATM so that they come more to the ATM, because at that point in time, the Shazia was part of that team, the e-commerce working group, funded by the government of Ministry of Commerce. We found out that the State Bank calls an ATM a branch. Dr. Ishrat, in a stroke of a pen, removed that lab thing. ATM became an ATM. Then we said ATM have duty. We went to the CBR, got that removed also. ATMs became cheaper. Banks started adopting them. Customers weren't willing to go there. Then we went back and said, hey guys, it used to take 15 rupees 50 paisas to process a ATM transaction from the cash out to hitting the GL at the bank. And it used to range from 75 rupees to 250 rupees to process a check from the teller into the GL. Banks gave us their own costing. We didn't calculate that. I mean, does it make common sense to have a 15 rupee transaction versus a 250 rupee transaction? Or a 75 rupee transaction? Today it's 7 rupees, by the way, on an average. Almost 3 trillion rupees a month you do on ATM. So that's what the skill sets will change, and it will be difficult to find them. This is the most interesting part. इसने ठंडा कर देना है सबको. Because his adoption rate is free fall. He will pick up a device, he or she will pick up a device, just like Jill said, and he'll start running with it. Highly likely he'll go back home, he's a little tech savvy, he's a group of friends who'll sit together and make an app. How many of you heard something called tune.pk? Yep. When YouTube shut down, this was the app that was being used. It came in the top 10. I used to get a daily report of what the top 10 websites hit was in Pakistan. Top 10, they moved in 6 months. So I called them up, chased them down from somewhere. I said, I want to buy you out. कितने पैसे देंगे? I said, 1 crore रुपए. ठीक है. मैं कहा, हो कौन तो? This is a true story. The eldest then, 3 years ago or 4 years ago, was 23. The youngest was 18. The middle of the two were 19 and 21. The 23-year-old has a business mind because he's been Cape from Hong Kong, Taiwan for the last 4 years. So he was a businessman by greed. He used to live in Sialkot. The 21-year-old used to live in Hyderabad. The 19-year-old was studying at, 21-year-old was studying at NCA, first year. The 19-year-old used to live in Hyderabad. This 18-year bloke had flunked his intermediate examination. So I asked him, I said, how did it happen? He said, we met on Facebook, we shared the idea, got together, and they met after 6 months. Today, they are the only legal content owners of Pakistani TV dramas, having signed all the 12 leading channels for TV drama broadcast. Everybody else is illegal. It's called Tune.tv. They still don't have an app because the drama owners or producers don't want them to put an app. वही वो DVD पहले निकालो movie को तो चलने दो, वो वाला case है. I asked this young guy, I said, यार तुमने वो मैं बंदा दिया तो उसको reject कर दिया. It's a nurse graduate, second position holder, IT. This 19-year-old brat rejected me. So first he gave me a compliment. मैं कहा किया क्यों? कहता अंकल. मैं कहा अंकल कहाँ से हो गया मैं? Anyway, uncle, क्या हुआ? You know, Apple has an operating system of the phone called iOS. Right now, I think it's on 8 version. He said, मैं 8 version पे research, 7th version पे research कर रहा हूँ. वो MSc करके आया, उसको 4 version 4 तक पता है. मैं उसको क्यों hire करूँ? I was totally flabbergasted. बात तो सही कर रहा है यार. If somebody is talking to me about a Mercedes-Benz 1960 model and I'm opening a workshop that will look after Mercedes-Benz 2000 onward, why should I hire the guy? Because the engine has changed completely. The mechanics of the car has changed completely. And these guys became very disruptive. 4 of them now manage a company which makes about $120,000 a year. They have a 70-man company which has added to their revenue to about $80,000 a month. Uncle, advisor, on the roll. Only uncle. Problem aati, then they call me.
Uncle, 5 minutes.
You want a break? But I'm almost done.
Not a break.
I'm almost done. I just have to go through.
Wrap it up.
This is what it is. This is a classic example called customer journey. Mapping customer journey. You know what they did? Normally, if you ask somebody, can you plot your customer what he does? You say, he comes to my office, he walks up to the teller, he puts the check in, he goes through the process of signing, he waits on the counter, he takes the money and he walks out. You know what Lego did? They said, no, this is not the customer journey. We want to follow him from the moment he leaves home. Where does he park his car? We want to keep a track of that. There must be a preferential parking lot that he takes. Does he come straight to our shop or he goes somewhere else? Can we catch him to influence him when he comes into our radius of the Wi-Fi? And they mapped it. Starbucks said, hey, that's a good idea, we'll do it too. So Starbucks has an app now. The moment you park your car near Starbucks, it connects to the Wi-Fi. If you are a known customer already who's done some buying from Starbucks, pop comes up, the last time you had mocha coffee, small, with a brownie. Would you like to order it again? By the way, if you are in a traffic jam outside a Starbucks, it will still pop up. And the guy will tell you this traffic jam takes 7 minutes to clear up on a traffic light. Do you want it delivered into your car? You know how much revenue went up? 22% Starbucks raised revenue. That's digitizing a business. Okay, forget about this. This is what Steve Jobs said. Before he died, of course. It used to be business and then technology, not the other way around. Quickly on the techie part. Everything will have a sensor. Focus on that, forget about the rest of them. Every device will have a sensor. There is a regulation coming in the US and Europe where they have blocking the idea of injecting an RFID and a newborn child. Because that is an invasion of privacy to them. My take on it, they will eventually do it. This is what the quantified self looks like. The sensor and the devices and yourself. Everything about you will be transmitted. Either to your own database or to your employer or to your home or wherever. What happens when this happens? This is what creates big data. This is not data about what? About what you're buying. No. You know what they're measuring from here? They're measuring your behavior.
Lifestyles.
Your lifestyle. What do you do prior to buying? That moment. They're trying to study your brain over a huge amount of data. IBM's Watson is now predicting weather based on a data record which is 400 years of record. Humanly impossible to do, but that machine is doing it. Health conditions, it is picking up patients, track record as old as 150-year-old. So that's what's going into a cloud. Cloud is like a big mainframe sitting in one place, computing all that data. Pakistan, you go and talk, do you have big data? Yeah, I have big data. What do? I have 1 million customers, that's big data. No, 1 million customers, not big data. Data about the 1 million customers, which should be about 10 billion records, is big data. So what happens when there are sensor-based? This is going to roll now. If it shocks you, tough luck. Some of these products are already on the road. If you're a new mother, you'll love one of these with at least a 1-year-old. It'll come. I love this one. Go have a candy before your luggage hits the luggage belt. This will run for about 5 minutes and then that's it. End. These are the 68 slides of the 85 slides.
I saw 79 on a page on one of yours.
Yeah, but it's a rollout. So just to give you an idea what the hell is happening. This is already available now in the market. Can you imagine? They'll measure your mood.
But how much will this, you see, the invasion of privacy will be.
Khatam. There's nothing called privacy.
Huh?
There'll be no privacy.
There will be no privacy.
Finished.
Nikatani mani.
Sorry?
Nikatani mani.
No mind.
That's not privacy.
This is the one the new mothers will love. Those of you who actually have worried about your weight, watch for the fork to come. This, by the way, is a product now. So is this. It's about $120. I bought one. Five minutes before you enter home, get your coffee done. Chai ka pani rakh do. Something like this. Tells you which muscle is going which way. Reads your brain when you're riding a bike. You're talking about privacy? This is a great learning tool for new kids. They're very effectively used in schools in the US now. Love it?
Remote house.
Ever imagined this one? Nasir Lamba yaad aa gaya? How about this? She'll tell you how much milk she's been dispensing, how much grass she's
It's
been
already
eating.
there in Pakistan also.
Not the dispensing part, but
No, yeah, half of it.
the fridge will order your replenishments, by the way. Makhan khatam ho gaya hai, bazaar se le aao, khud hi aa jayega, fridge bata dega usse. That is the old thing. This is the fork. It tells you how many calories you ate, whether you had a rare steak or a well done steak or a raw steak. It'll catch you.
Is this a product?
Yeah. this
It's
is
on the
there.
market.
This is there.
It's on the market, yeah.
What was it called?
It's called some fork something.
Happy fork.
Happy fork.
HAPI.
If you go to Alibaba and look for an electronic fork, digital fork, you'll find it. By the-
Happy fork.
Yeah. This you know what it is. This is Tesla is championing this. This you already know, drones. Came and flopped. Came and flopped in a year's time. Too expensive, too difficult, not very accurate video. This is the new one. Want to go back? This will shock you. This will shock you. I was totally taken aback. I was hoping something like this would come. This lens is now coming out with a video recording lens in it.
It's a recent one.
जो आपको नजर आ रहा है
This
वो
contact
सब
lens will record
Oh God.
on connected to a Wi-Fi.
It will
This
be safe.
gadget, if somebody is interested in the medical industry, is now available. You know, you go for a CT scan of the brain, you put it on the lid, it rolls over, it's did a scan. Imagine putting one or two in the rural area. Why drive the poor guy all the way to Aga Khan and Shaukat Khanam? My old employer made a brain chip. Everybody got scared when I showed this slide. I said, no, it only emulates the disease in the brain to cure the brain disease. It's not going to replace your brain yet. This is the volume of those gadgets that will be in the world. So imagine that many gadgets generating data. That's big data. Every millisecond they will generate data.
Everyone would be employed as Yasmin. आपने पूछा था ना कि फिर लोग क्या करेंगे, employee क्या करेंगे? Everyone would be employed because the products are so many. Everybody
More than
will
that,
find their own niche.
you will charge for sharing data.
Exactly.
That's the business model. You will charge for sharing data. You will have the right to sue if they don't let you share it. If they pick up your data without your permission. I don't know, but abroad. Most of you will be Google, so whatever.
Banks have a big data
Any
to
questions?
study consumer behavior.
I have a question and a comment.
Yeah.
The question is that in your view, what would be the type of information we'll be having maybe in next 20 or 30 years?
Type of information.
Like what sort of information models will we have?
Sorry?
Information models will we have?
They will be very disruptive. The model that is currently coming up, which I've been browsing for the last about 5-6 months, is nowhere close to what we have been dealing with, database structures, and it's all network driven, right? In fact, the networks will change. All these towers will become, I mean, there's a famous saying, strategy eats culture for breakfast. Is that the saying? Strategy eats culture for breakfast? Yeah, it is. That's what it is. The new saying is software will eat business for breakfast. So it's very unpredictable because they're very evolutionary. But all I can say is they will be very disruptive and they'll have very short life. You know, when I started my career, the stupid model never changed for at least 10 years. The waterfall model was there, no, water came. And then suddenly, bang, 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 it started changing. All the CMMI people came up, the COVID people came up, they had their own models, but it will change very rapidly.
And the comment is that, in fact, when we are talking about this digital transformation, it's probably the business world that is lagging, whereas in our daily life, in our cultures, we have already adopted it. Just imagine how many photos we upload on Facebook. And these photos were actually forbidden religiously 10 years ago. What happened to that? Just imagine how many of us are using smartphones. Right now, around 40% of Pakistani population is on smartphones. And why they are using 40%? Yeah.
30 million smartphones.
There's the latest stats by PTA is it's growing at a rate of 40%. Because I come from the industry and I keep tab on it.
Okay.
We have crossed, we will cross by June 30th, 20 million of the 120 million or 127 million mobiles in Pakistan. And there is a logic to it, there is a reason.
That's the smartphones in Pakistan, not
Sorry?
the mobiles. Mobile is more than
Mobile is
80%.
127 million.
Yes.
20 million smartphones will cross hopefully in June this year. We crossed about 17
Yes.
last year.
So,
This year, January. The rate at which the adoption will take place
it's 40%.
will go further than that, which is not visible to PTA for a very simple reason. I explained this to Yasmin once, and this is a lesson for consumer behavior marketing people as well. Pakistan and India and probably South Asian countries and some of these Cambodia, Laos countries, the old Far East Asian countries like Asia Pacific Rim, there is a cultural thing that happens. They can't afford the new phone. So what happens is every car that is done about 5 years in Karachi moves up north. You will still find a 2000 model Mark II Toyota driving in KPK. You will still find a Sony Trentron TV still working in KPK and in the northern parts of Galiyat and Punjab. You'll still find a 70cc 2000 or 1996 model working there. It is the second time that this phone gets sold. This is how the feature phone went on. The second time the person sells it. So I buy the new phone. This person buys a second-hand phone. The third person, when he buys the same smartphone, if you like, the same phone, that's when proliferation explodes. Once he gets into that habit, he's not giving it up. He is definitely not giving it up. The biggest adoption today of smartphone at the second-hand level is where? Incredible, and it's for a positive reason. Madrasas. They are listening, learning, and now they have access not only to their ustad, Maulvi Sahib, they have access to multiple ustad. The biggest adoption in Pakistan, people don't know this, 17 million students are registered in madrasas. Official 17 million. Children, which is whatever percentage of 65% of our population, if you like. Because they range from 5 years to 21 years, or 25 years, if you like.
So the transformation is already there.
Sorry?
The transformation is already there.
Yeah, but most people say if they take over, फिर क्या होगा?
They themselves are changing.
They are changing significantly. Significant changes. I mean, YouTube is exploded with it. So you're right, it will happen, but the change is going to be exponential. The speed of change will be very difficult to catch up with. Every Tom, Dick and Harry, but this generation will catch up. They were born, like she said, they were born in a digital native. We were